Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm here today home alone for the first time in over 2.5 weeks. My kids have finally gone back to school after the Easter holidays, and my house, to put it mildly, looks like a bomb has hit it. We all went on holidays together and nobody was doing an awful lot of tidying or cleaning at the time, just the bare essentials to get by because we all wanted to enjoy the holidays together. So today I'm going to tackle my pantry. It's driving me absolutely crazy. Things have just been thrown in there, so let's go and have a look at it. Okay guys, so here it is in all of its glory. This is what happens after 2.5 weeks of doing the shopping and just throwing everything into the pantry because we wanted to watch movies and have fun together rather than spend our time sorting out the kitchen. Kids coming and helping themselves, opening packets and chucking stuff back in, and basically stuff just not being put back where it belonged after it had been taken out or not having gotten there in the first place. We have got a bit of everything going on here, and I have to say this is pretty bad. It hasn't been this bad for a long time, but like most of you know, if you've been on my channel before, this is not my first time doing KONMARI, and part of the reason for it, that I've left it get this bad, is because I've made a decision quite purposely that I was going to enjoy time off with my family when they had it. And I'm going to be at home now on my own. They're all gone back to school doing their thing. My husband's at work. And now I'm here, I can do this. And I'm not, taking up anybody else's time while I'm doing it. So before KONMARI, essentially what would happen was I would spend my time cleaning and tidying all the time, and even when the family were supposed to be having family time, I was generally in the kitchen doing something, or I was constantly washing clothes, constantly trying to tidy, and I was never making any progress. It was really sad actually when I think back on it, because this was when our kids were really, really young. So when I did KONMARI, I made a purpose decision for myself and my family saying, you know what, when they have time off, I'm taking time off too. And if this is the result, then so be it. I'm happy enough to go with that, guys. I'm showing you my house here, warts and all, and I know it's a total mess, but I've left my dignity at the door. I'd really appreciate it if you could leave your judgment at the door with it, because, this is real here. This is what happens after the Easter holidays. So, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking everything out. I'm going to put it on the kitchen table because I have a teeny tiny kitchen and I don't think I have enough surface space for all this stuff. So I'm going to take it all out. I'm going to wash everything down. I'm actually going to clean the floor as well because honestly I'm kind of afraid to think about what's down there. And then I'm going to try to organize it and put it all back. And I think from other videos we usually learn that, organizing and putting stuff back is what takes an awful lot of time with these kimono categories. So if you're interested in watching that, please give me a thumbs up. Click on the subscribe button if you want to carry on watching me throughout my journey, my whole KONMARI journey, because trust me, there's still plenty to go. In fact, yeah, I'm not going to get into it now, but there's plenty. There is no shortage of jobs around this house at the moment after Easter. So, okay, like I said, click on the like button, click on subscribe, and let's get on with it. Okay guys, all emptied out, and there was a lot more than I thought. Look at the state of that. Empty boxes, a couple of lost tea bags that have, taken the plunge to the floor, dust, dirt. It was definitely overdue a clean, I think. Do you remember when I said that I was going to put everything on the table because I wasn't going to have enough room on the worktop? I was wrong. I wasn't going to have enough room on the table either. So I've got about 1 million different packets of pasta and spaghetti and fettuccine and all that going on. They're even spilling out onto the floor and onto the chairs around the table. So coming around, as you can see, loads of condiments in the middle. Over here I've got my flours and stuff for baking. There was a lot of baking going on, so a lot of stuff actually needs refilling after the holidays. Like these ones here, they've both been emptied. I think it was probably from my daughter making pancakes, because she does like a bit of baking. She enjoys it. So yeah, we have a lot, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't like seeing a lot of packaging. It's like when I get something like this, normally what I'll do is I'll put it into a glass container, because I find it makes the pantry feel very crowded when you go in and you've got all this writing and all these different colours and everything coming at you. So I like to put stuff like that. Like this is where I would keep my popcorn normally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spill that in here. I didn't realise we had that one, because there was so much of it going on over the holidays that kind of became unclear as to what we did and didn't have in the pantry anymore. So we just ended up going out and buying more and replacing stuff that didn't necessarily need replacing. And then of course running out of stuff and not replacing it at all, because, you know, that's how we roll, I guess. And yeah, after I'd finished cluttering up the entire table, I then cluttered up my worktop with pet food, dried fruit, cereals, rice, vinegar, more noodles, more condiments back there, some stock. Yeah, you can see for yourself, there's a lot there. It actually even went up here with the empty jars. So as you can see, guys, I have my work cut out for me. So I'm, first things first, going to go into the pantry and clean it, because the pantry is disgusting. I'm going to wipe it all down and wash it. And then I am going to go through the food and see what's out of date and what can be thrown out. So let's get started with the cleaning. Okay guys, so that has all been washed down and cleaned. There's a lot of marks all over these shelves. They've been there since before we moved in. Some parts where the paint's chipped away and whatnot. And the skirting board down there, you can see that whoever it was that painted the walls wasn't exactly particularly careful. But that's alright, I'm not worried about that. As long as it's actually clean, I'm not going to be too worried about the aesthetics of the place at the moment. Okay guys, so here is my pretty much finished pantry after a long couple of hours of tidying and cleaning. So let's just see what we've done here. Down the bottom we've got cooking oil. That little basket is full of like extra stuff that I have, like dried dates and linseed and stuff like that. In these containers we've got cereals, rice, anything that, you know, should be in an airtight container basically, and a can of dog food. And just up above it we've got cans of cat food. They're really the only cans that I keep in this pantry, because like I said earlier, I don't really like all that kind of visual noise coming from all the different packaging, so I tried to keep it to a minimum. So I actually have a cupboard in my utility room up high where I keep my jars of pasta sauce. So you'll see that in an upcoming video when I'm tackling my utility room. Over here we've got kids snacks, some breadsticks and bits and bobs, biscuits, wraps, and over here in the corner, that box there is just odds and ends from baking. Kind of, you know, too small to leave out on their own because they'll just get lost. Some mixed nuts, some oats. I've got some porridge, kind of a ready-made kind of a porridge mixed with fruit. It's really nice. And Weetabix. I like to keep those down low so that the kids can reach them themselves, their cereals and stuff. Up here we've got fajitas. Yeah, there's a lot of them there. I actually get these ones sent from my parents in Ireland because we started eating them in Ireland when we were living them there, and then when we moved to Australia they didn't do that flavour, so yeah, we kind of have them in bulk when we do have them. And we've got pizza bread. This one's really nice actually, for making pizzas. Some more seeds, noodles, a couple of sauces, vinegars, Asian sauces, different little bits and pieces here. I actually mean to put those crisps up higher, keep them for the weekend maybe, for movie night. I've got a lot of my herbs here. I like this because it's nice and calm looking. I do have more herbs up on a higher shelf. I keep them in those two baskets when I need to refill, but like I said, I just don't like seeing that mess all the time, so I tend to keep them in that basket. Back here we've got some gravies, nutritional yeast, peanut butter, all that jazz. Nuts again here. This needs to go back up. This is my extra turmeric. I need to actually ask the girls about those snack bars as to whether they're going to eat them or not. So I'm going to keep them down until the girls get home. And over here is my tea corner. So I've got my tea bags, various different types. Chai latte, which my husband seems to have formed a loving for, and some coffee and some hot chocolate. Then up onto the next shelf, and it's mainly kind of baking stuff, bicarb, different sugars, a couple of those. I need to make a list of the ones that I'm running low on, which is actually really good now because I can see what I'm actually running low on. Brown sugar. I also need to get proper labels because these are the chalk stickers and it just never stays on, so I need to figure out a better kind of a sticker system. So yep. All my rices, sugars, more nuts, cacao nibs, almond meal, walnuts. Up here I've got some more condiments. I might actually end up putting those down a bit lower later so that the kids can reach them. And over here I've got all my pretty pastas in my pretty pasta jars. So they've finally been refilled. And up on the very top shelf, where only God himself can reach seemingly, is all of my extras. So stuff that I've arranged it now so that it's not lying down flat, so it's easy for me to see from down here what it is that's actually up there. Loads more pasta that I went off and bought way too much. And over here we've got a couple of cake mixes that my daughter may use at some point. I did buy them for her, but she actually tends to prefer to bake stuff from scratch. But, you know, it's there if she needs it. And corn flour, which I bought for a recipe and I never ended up using. So, yeah, I just moved back and I think that looks a lot better than what I was dealing with previously. It's a lot more pleasing to the eye. If you want to see, this is all of the rubbish that is and packaging that is no longer in my pantry, and it actually breaks my heart because I would rather be more zero waste, but I just haven't. I don't seem to have gotten my head around it just yet. But maybe once I've got the house sorted, it's something that I can, you know, spend a bit more time. Finally, we've got all the food that went out of date and needs to be gotten rid of. Open packets of biscuits that weren't put away. These are out of date. These I think my husband bought them and thought that they'd look nice and then never actually went through with making them. I told you my husband had found chai latte. He found a vegan one and he wanted me to try it, and I thought it was disgusting and he doesn't like it, so yeah, it's not going to be used. My daughter doesn't like it either. Yeah, it's just bits and pieces of food that were opened and hadn't been finished. And here we have some sultanas. They can actually be kept. They'll be fine. And over here is 4 cans and jar, well, 1 jar and 3 cans that will be going to the utility room in my other cupboard. So, yeah. Hi guys, so all done. I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update. Today is the next day. I just wanted to show you what we've done. We have filled these, and I actually found a chalk marker, which I didn't realize was a thing, but I was able to, you know, write on these properly and it doesn't rub off as easily. And yeah, just refilled all of these. So now that I have finished the pantry, we are moving in here next. Look at that mess. Just, I hate the setup of this kitchen, but it is what it is. Look in there, oh my god. So yeah, that is my next video. So if you want to join me for that, click on subscribe so that you'll get an update when I do the video, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.